Reserve list players continue to demand higher values for their cards, which is leading to the reserve list staying high and giving LGSs and retailers a hard time. It's coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel and you're somehow finding me out there in the nacho cheese world that is YouTube, well, thanks a lot for checking out my content today. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, join in, and help me get to 5,000 subscribers, because then we get to have a cake party. Now, the rules of the cake party will come out this week at some point. You can watch this video for hints and clues around the end of the video in the middle parts. You never know where. Just watch the video right through, and you'll be surprised, and you'll be amazed, and have a great time. All right, guys, we're here to talk about the reserve list today. It's kind of crazy, right? I don't know what you're thinking, because you're just staring at the screen at me right now, but this is what's happening. Prices aren't dropping the way LGSs thought they would. I've talked to a lot of LGSs now, and they were expecting some of these prices and some of the player demands for their cards to drop down. A lot of stores have had to turn away deals from players because players want too much money, they're saying. They want some cash, they want it now, they don't just want trade. Some players are actually saying, I need some cash, man. I want some money. And the LGSs don't want to pony up that kind of cash without being sure they're going to sell the product, which makes perfect sense. But it leads to a problem. It shows the strength of the reserve list. If you know what you have is worth money, and you're saying, no, I'm not going to settle for less. I want my money. I want a good trade-in value. I want like 85 cents on the dollar, which means you don't want the LGSs to take a bigger piece of your pie. You don't want to sell to the Rudies of the world for 50, 60 cents on the dollar. It's amazing. Okay? So when I looked at this and I talked to the stores and I started looking around, I, of course, followed up on the prices I have on my reserve list. I want to show you guys something today and go through what we're talking about. Okay? The strength of the reserve list. Although some cards dip in price, they never go back to the old levels. And this time, unlike others where it kind of like goes for like a month or two, we're on 6-7 months now. It's staying very strong. Let's take a look here at the first card today. All right? So Devi Excavations has kind of been the fun card of the MTG Moxman channel. I own multiple copies. A lot of viewers on the channel own a copy or two. It has been a fun card to follow and track. It is still staying at $30 Canadian, $20 in the US, $15 in the EU, and the sales have remained strong. So whenever somebody dips their price down, it gets gobbled up by somebody right away. Now, I've noticed that the foreign versions, language cards are not selling as well for this particular one, but all the English versions are selling, and they're selling often. I know some people trying to be tricky and up their shipping cost to try and make up some money they're losing on selling the card a little bit lower. Nobody's biting on those, okay? They want a good overall price, but the card is selling and selling strong. Now, we go to the next card. We're talking Tiaga. Now, the Tiaga here at $300 Canadian, $270 US, $195 in the EU. The sales are strong. It is selling well and selling fast at this price. I remember this card being $180 last year. Look at it now, right? In October of 2020, it was like $180. Now it is $300. It was actually higher. This is the card dipping a bit, and the sales have still remained strong. And although lots of LGSs out there and other platforms have buy lists on this card, nobody's selling to them at the low prices. A few LGSs actually ponied up more money just so they could fulfill some wish list cards they had that were need to be filled. So keep an eye on that. This card is remaining strong. You notice that? Strong. But even when they're not strong, even like a Pendrill Miss, which used to be like a $4 or $5 card, has hit the high of like, $40 at one point. The average is around $31 Canadian, $24 in the US, $13 in the EU. It's kind of balancing out nicely. The sales are slow. It's not even selling a copy a week right now on some of the platforms. It's less than that. But here's the funny thing. This is the strength of the reserve list that we're talking about. It did not dip in price. Nobody's marking it down saying, oh man, I bought like 30 copies of this, man. I'm going to sell 15 of them off just at $15 a piece to recoup my money. Nobody's doing that because everyone knows you got to hold. Okay? There's a reason we say hold the line on the channel. If you hold and don't sell, you will make a lot more money long term if you can hold on for a longer period of time. Okay? You got to hold a long time. If you watch my video on the weekend where I showed my collection of collection buying I never did, it's just holding your cards a very long time and not selling to the Rudy types of the world. It's crazy. Now, Savannah, same thing. $350 Canadian, guys. You got 160 EU, $2.90 in the US, and it's selling strong. This card is not going slow. Different copies. I've noticed, by the way, a lot of beta copies sold in this particular one, especially some slab copies, which can throw off what I'm doing. But I just take the average prices. So if you're looking at revised cards of Savannah that's sold, it's booming. Sales are happening daily. It's a strong card because people need them for Commander. They need it for other decks they're holding on to. Some people are actually building vintage and legacy decks. I've got the photos. Great pictures, by the way, you guys sent me. It was awesome. So when you look at that, you realize it's not going anywhere. It's staying strong for a reason. This is the strength of the reserve list. When we understand the value and we're not willing to sell to a store for a lesser amount, stores have to focus just on new products. They can't get the old cards. It makes it very difficult for them, especially now that we understand it's their fault they sold off those mass amounts of those cheap prices, but they're having a very hard time fulfilling stock. A lot of stores are actually just dry on old cards entirely now. Now, I know you guys can tease me in the comment sections all you want. I do not have a Mox Diamond yet. I am the Mox Man. Eventually, I'm going to get one. Okay, eventually. There are priorities in life, though. I actually plan on getting a whole bunch. But right now, we're stuck here. So, I know places in town here, like Face to Face here in Toronto, they've got copies of this going for like $800 plus tax. These are $675 as an average price I found on a few sites, including eBay. $575 in the US, $310 in the EU, balancing out nicely. But you notice I said the local shop had it for $800. Okay, nicely, lightly played copies, but they're having a hard time moving that stuff because people can just go and save $150, $200 by buying it online or meeting and trading with someone. Okay, so the sales though are very strong on this card. Even the foreign language ones, guys, it's not coming back. If you need this for Commander, if you need it, you need to have it. The strength of the reserve list is these cards aren't coming back. So unless Wizards does some fundamental change later on, it's the way it's going to be. Remember that. Even when this card's dipped a little bit, I'm hoping it dips just a little bit more. But if it does, more people are there to gobble them up, apparently. All right. I know. Replenish. I've tagged on this card once or twice before. Replenish is having very strong sales. Like, really strong. Okay? Now, it brings back all your enchantments, which is totally cool. Brings them back to the battlefield. Very nice. $95 in Canada. $89 in the US. $72 in the EU. The sales are strong, guys. It's a good card. It has a lot of playability. It's a fun card. So, way to go. Replenish, you rock. Keep going at it. Again, strong, slow, medium, steady sales. The fact is none of the prices are dipping, and some prices are actually starting to increase a little bit. A little tick on a few of them. Now, Null Rod is one of those ones that's been ticking upward. There are one or two outlying sellers who have like a single card for sale that's a little bit cheaper than this, but some of them didn't have great feedback, so I couldn't verify everything. Now, at $130 Canadian, this used to be a $50 card. It's more than doubled its price since December. $110 in the US, $80 in the EU. Sales are strong. And listen to what I'm telling you. Even when the price dips, somebody else just gobbles the card up and takes it. It's not going anywhere. Okay, it's not coming back, and people understand that. Plus, it has a great flavor text quote. It's very cool. All right, the last card, Goblin Wizard. We opened this on a pack. I think it was for Jake, right, Jake? Right, huh? When we opened a pack fresh one. This card has continued to climb, too, from the $30 mark all the way to the 250s. Now, the average, though, is $190 in Canada. You got $145 in the US, $109 in the EU. Now, the prices, you give copies that people are trying to get a higher amount for, but the average that is selling versus the average that are for sale is these prices I'm listing now, okay? And these are for like lightly played near mint copies. The sales are not fast, but they are steady, and the prices are not dipping. That's the whole point when you're talking about the reserve list, guys. It'll have highs and lows. There will be dips and valleys. It's the long-term growth like anything you invest in. But stores who want to buy some of these cards from you, they're trying to get at a lower price point. Everyone wants a deal, of course, but they can't just float money and have it sit on their shelves for 2 years. So they have to be very savvy about it, right? They're truly trying to kind of balance out their worlds. And I'm noticing it across multiple LGSs trying to get these cards. So keep that stuff in mind. Holding will result in bigger profits long term if you hold your reserve list cards. Now, yes, this also helps the whales, because if we hold our cards and don't sell, then the whales cards go up as well, right? Everyone who holds reserve list cards, you are an investor. You are hoping for a bigger return on your cards later, and you like to see the growth of a card when it goes up a few bucks here and there. It is cool to see. But guys, please keep in mind, I am not a Magic investor. I did not graduate Magic University. I just a guy who hoards and collects cards in the background so you guys can stare at them all day. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in today. This is MTG Moxman. I look forward to seeing you guys later. You never know where hints are going to come up, right? Let's see who follows this one to the very end and puts down Hail to the King in the comment section. Have a great one, guys. See you then. Hey guys, big shout out to all my awesome patrons out there. Guys, we're going to have a good time. The cake party will be coming. And remember, everyone, the rules of the cake party will probably be posted at some point tomorrow. And the video will come out later this week. Looking forward to it. Well, hey there. Have you ever wanted to open up some awesome packs of visions? Have you? But you're worried about the high price? Well, now you'll have the opportunity. Cake party's coming soon. See you there. I know, right? You thought I forgot. I didn't forget. I didn't forget. Not a chance. You ready for this? You ready? We gained a lot of subscribers, guys. We're getting closer to cake party. Ready? 450 subscribers till cake! Wow. Wow.